No Fate channel, checking in. And today I'm going to be taking you through the best deadlift jacks for you. Normally on this Dad's Home Gym series, we're in my home gym, but now we're in my office because I'm going to be crunching some numbers. We're going to go through pros and cons to help you sort out which is going to be the best way to get your deadlift on. And before we get started, I need to know from you, what's your max deadlift, bro? And do sumo deadlifts even count? This video is for all of you who deadlift, whether in a home gym or your local gym, because a deadlift jack is something you probably need. If you deadlift more than one plate, you know that as you add on additional plates, it can become excessively heavy to shimmy that plate up the sleeve of the barbell. In fact, it can be downright bad on your back as you try to really sink it in tight in order to get that nice snug fit. Now, what is a deadlift jack supposed to do? In theory, it lifts the barbell or the plates, the first plate on your bar, off the ground just enough to give you enough room to easily slide a plate on or off in order to get a nice tight fit without blowing out your back before you even deadlift. I'm going to take you through 4 different types of deadlift jacks because the one that's right for me may not be the one right for you, and the one that's best for a home gym might not be ideal for your local gym. So let's get into it. First and foremost, we have the barbell jack. I'll put the website right here. It does come with a booty band. We're not going to review the booty band today. How does this work? You simply lock this into the bar and then you're able to leverage this up into a standing position. How much does it cost? If you go to their website, it does cost $69. I don't know why they picked that number, but I do know there's tons of coupon codes. No Fate 24/7 get you like 20% off. So I think when it's all said and done, you can probably pick this up for around $50. It is patent pending. I will say this is not an original form with respect to, there's a number of ones out there that I've seen made out of wood. I've seen all different types of iterations of this where you put the bar in and you're able to use this to simply use a mechanical advantage to lift the bar with as many plates as on there up into a standing position to just give you enough clearance to slide those plates on. One of the takeaways on here that I did not like is twofold. Number one, it says on here max 50 kilograms. Now for you Americans like me, that's 110 pounds. I know you're deadlifting more than 110 pounds, and even if you only factor in one side, I know you're deadlifting more than 220. I don't like the fact that they put a maximum weight on here because I think it's for their way of basically protecting their backside from lawsuit or litigation. Clearly, I've done testing on this. It can hold 3 plates on each side, no problem in terms of using it, but I don't like the fact that they wrote that on here. I think that is a cop-out, and that does speak poorly of the company itself. The other side effect or bad thing with regards to this barbell jack is that there's only one of them, but clearly on a barbell, there's 2 sides of a barbell. So you would have to lift up one side, load it, unload it, go on the other side, lift it up, load it, and unload it. Not that big of a deal. It is fairly light, but it is very sturdy. As I said, I've had 4 plates on it, so I know it can handle at least 3, but I've had 4 plates on each side. I'm testing this thing out, no problem, no issue. I will say it is fairly thin, so if you have a duffel bag, you could bring this to your local gym. No problem. You could shove it in a duffel bag and pull it out when you need it. It is very firm, is very sturdy, but not very heavy. So it does have a lot of things going for it aside from the fact that it's only one, it's an individual, and the fact that it does cost a good chunk of change. I mean, $50 is $50, right? Second on deck is going to be rolling blocks, and these are the ones that I think are going to be ideal for 80% of you for a few reasons. Number one, this design, again, is not original. Every company under the sun makes it. I'll put a link, an Amazon link. I think there's like 50 or 60 Amazon sellers of this type of, this is a rubber style, and how it works is essentially you roll the first plate of your barbell onto here, and it just sits with enough clearance to load it up, and then when you're done, you unroll it off, okay? They are usually sold in pairs, and the biggest claim to fame is twofold. Number one, they're cheap. Anywhere from $14 to $20 will get you a rubber pair. I know some people who are good with woodworking, they've made them out of wood for free because they already knew how to make them out of wood. I will say that these rubber ones are the way to go. They've got the little clips that you can just kind of hang and keep them out of the way. Clearly, they don't take up as much space. And what's the side effect? What's the downside, right? The downside is the fact that you need to roll your whole stack onto these and then roll them off. Now, when you only have 1 or 3 plates, rolling the first plate on here, not that big of a deal. Takes about 2 seconds, very little effort. Some of you, not many at all, some of you though, you're going 4 or even 5 or 6 plates deep, and rolling 6 plates onto this is gonna be a bit more work, a bit more cumbersome than me, who's only going to be rolling like 2 plates on. One of the upsides of this, if you're a fan of the hex bar deadlift like I am, if you're a fan of the hex bar in general, these work ideally on a hex bar, and this barbell jack will not work on a hex bar. So if you like to deadlift and do hex bars, these are the way to go. This is what I use in my home gym because it is the most convenient. But again, if you're a strong individual, these might be a bit more of a nuisance than the next ones that I'm going to talk about. And that is Titan Fitness. Comes out with 2 versions of deadlift jack, whatever you want to call it. There's the full version, which comes in at about $89. I'll put the photo up here. Those are typically for A, a home gym, or B, a local gym, but typically the responsibility is for the local gym to buy those and keep it at the local gym. It uses the same principle as the barbell jack, but it's made out of metal. It's much sturdier, and frankly, it's much easier to use because it lifts up the entire bar, both sides of the bar at the same time, with a nice mechanical lever that you're able to push down, or in most cases, like me, in a local gym, I would just put my foot on it and step down, and it completely lifts that barbell way off the ground, so you can clearly load it, unload it, no issues, no problem. And frankly, they typically come in at like 40 pounds, and they're big, they're bulky, and the price point does reflect that. I'll put a link in the description. I think that's good for someone who is deadlifting super heavy and is committed to that deadlift lifestyle. If you typically go to your local gym, this isn't going to be something that you want to buy and lug to your gym and lug it home. This is something that you would buy for a home gym, or maybe you would talk to your local gym and say, hey, can I store this at the local gym for anyone to use, just so long as we can have it here for me to use. Most local gyms that do heavy deadlifting platforms and have people who deadlift often will already have one of these at their local gym. And this comes to the last and final version of a deadlift jack, and that is from Titan Fitness. They've got what's called deadlift minis. What they basically do is that they take the big boy jack, split it in 2. So you get 2 smaller versions that do come in at about $49, so you do save some money. The same exact principle, but they are not as beefy, and there's 2 of them. So you would set one up on each different side of the barbell. Overall, if you're looking to save money, and if you're not a big, huge, heavy deadlifter, that might be the way to go. They are going to take up more space in your home gym if you are limited in your home gym. And if you're thinking, can I bring this to the gym and then bring it home? No, they're going to be a little too bulky to put in your duffel bag, hike them to the gym, and hike them home. Overall, there's 4 legit options for you to choose from. If it was me, I'm gonna be going with these every time because they're cheap. They don't take up much space. You can hang them, you can throw them into a backpack, a duffel bag, your pocket, take them with you as you go. But clearly, there's many of you, and I know who you are. You're deadlifting 4 plates, 5 plates. You're not gonna wanna be rolling 4 or 5 plates up on here consistently. It can be a nuisance, to say the least. Hopefully you found today's video informative. If you haven't already, I want to know, what are you deadlifting? And do you think sumo deadlifts really count? I mean, let's be honest, do they? Do they? Hey, if you came this far in the video, hopefully you found this informative. Links to everything in the description. Give the video a like, hit that red subscribe button. As usual, thank you for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back.